My name is Nakarembe Harriet. I am in primary 6. I want to be a teacher when I grow up. I am in primary 5. I want to be a construction engineer when I grow up.
And be a mechanical engineer when I grow up.
I am in primary 6. I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
Our vision says after study we will come back and develop our village into a city.
Our state will have modern roads.
We need to conserve our environments. We shall have many trees in our city. We shall also have a man-made lake and river to provide us food.
In Uganda, we all know that about 70% of children who enroll per each cycle drop out before they complete primary 7. And given the fact that those are so many children dropping through the cracks of the education system, my colleague James Kasaga and I decided to start Teach for Uganda to be able to combat that and ensure that children are learning and children stay in school.
Having been born at a time of rebel war and cattle rustling in eastern Uganda, I remember very well we were about 100 kids who joined P1. And by the time I reached university, I was really left alone. I was the only one who graduated in the whole of my cohort of 100 kids in grade 1.
And so Teach for Uganda came up with a leadership development program that attracts young people who are on the path of leadership. And they commit 2 years to teaching in underserved communities so that they can be able to bring about drastic change in the learning outcomes of the kids.
The Teach for Uganda Fellowship came at a time in my life when I was a leader at Macquarie University. I was a college president, and I'm the kind of person who values education. And Teach for Uganda being a leadership fellowship, I thought it was that which was befitting for me as a person. And I also wanted to learn more about leadership skills that I'll maybe use in future.
I chose to join the fellowship because of the objective they had of providing quality education to all children of Uganda.
So when the opportunity of joining Teach for Uganda Fellowship came that needed us to go into these communities, work with these kids, try to inspire them to stay at school and at the end of the day attain quality education, for me, this was my personal quest and my personal story, and that really inspired me to be part of the fellowship.
Our vision is for one day all children will be able to attain an excellent education. Our mission is to create a movement of leaders who will work inside and outside of the education sector to end education inequity in Uganda.
I did a fellowship with Teach for Uganda, and I was placed at St. Kizito Nabutaka Primary School with my co-fellow by the names of Bernard Chove George.
Ekimu ku bibala bye tufunyeemu ng'abatuuze ba St. Kizito, tufunyeemu omutindo gw'abaana mulungi kati okusinziira ku gubaddewo emabega. Oluvannyuma lw'abasomesa bano okujja, abaana baffe bakola bulungi, ebitabo birungi, empisa zaakyuka nnungi, ate n'abasomesa batukyalira ng'abazadde ne batubuulira ebizibu bye basisinkana n'abaana.
One of the benefits of our program, which I have been part of as a fellow, was to rally the parents to come on board to work towards the involvement in the education of their children by playing their role, which included a provision of scholastic materials to their children, buying uniform, feeding them, and ensuring that learners come to school on a daily basis.
I was placed in Tuntumula Umeya Primary School with my colleague Frida Aduno, Mary. This school is in Loro District, in the sub-county of Tuntumula.
There has been an impact in that these two fellows, teacher Mary Frida Aduno and Mr. Roharo Moses, they have helped us in starting up the garden, the school garden. Our children started having solid lunch because of having the garden. They have also helped us in visiting. They have been paying home visits to parents, and they have been happy with that.
After joining the fellowship and working into this community with these primary kids, we have really faced great challenges in the community. First of all, we are confronted with the number of kids attending school has really been so low. We started with only 72 kids at school, with hundreds of them loitering out in the community. So one challenge faced with us, how do we mobilize these kids to come to school?
Me and my colleague came at a time when there was that negative attitude towards learning. The children would absent themselves voluntarily. They would find all reasons to dodge or to miss classes. But ever since we set foot here, they have a reason to come to school.
I will not say that as an individual I have achieved much. We have worked as a team. We came as a team, but we have also made a team. That one is one of the achievements. I realized that it is great because we did not want to work in isolation, to be branded to Teach for Uganda teachers, but we came and built a team, and that has been outstanding.
Really, I must say I have grown, learned and relearned a lot of things as far as this fellowship is concerned. Issues of mobilizing the community. What does it take for someone to mobilize the community to embrace education? What does it take a teacher to teach kids not just to be successful in a classroom, but to be successful individuals in life? What does it take to mobilize resources outside the school environment, but in the outside environment in order to help the school grow? How does it take to bring other community stakeholders into the school activity in order to create that sense of urgency in the community to grow the education and grow the community together?
I'm looking forward to studying a master's degree in policy because I think that's the best way of tackling many of the challenges that I've actually observed in the communities that I've lived in for the past 2 years.
I'm looking forward to starting an NGO that rallies parents to be involved in the education of their children.
So I plan of establishing a community initiative back home where I'll work with schools, work with community leaders, work with church and cultural leaders to make sure that we sustain our children at school through things of sports, but also if they learn things in class, how do they make that a reality in community?
I'm optimistic that our alumni will be able to leverage on the experiences and the skills and knowledge that they have acquired in the 2-year fellowship in order to become lifelong advocates of education equity, so that together we can be able to realize the dream of providing an excellent education to all our children.